actually was created years ago. There was a talent competition that I was directing and teaching some theater programs, and we had some of the best choreographers around the state with kids, and we lost the competition. I thought unfairly, but competitions are subjective, but we found some facts that was kind of strange with the judges, and again, instead of getting bitter and getting mad, I took it out through the pen and wrote Diamond Rough, the book. But I needed a character to go along with the book, so I came up with this multimillionaire con artist, and I needed another character to go along with him for contrast, so I created a minister character, brought those two together, and then created the supporting characters. And then it was just sitting on the shelf, the manuscript, and then I said, let me show folks how to achieve dreams. The best way I know how to do it is through action. So me and my son Kyle got in front of a YouTube on July 12th, I think 2008, and I told him, I'm going to show you guys how to take a manuscript, how to get your barcodes, how to get national distribution all by yourself, and how to turn it into a national bestseller. Again, I was thinking ahead to show folks, and then I said, what haven't I done? I've published books before that have gone national. I've done TV stuff with the Scruples national, but I've never done a feature film movie. So within this process of videos and blogs, I said, now I'm going to show folks how to do something I haven't even done before. They're going to live with me how to create a major feature film of quality and bring it to the public, the message. And that's pretty much, in a nutshell, the process of the Diamond Rough story and eventually the Diamond Rough movie. With the title Diamond Rough, well, I think we have to look historically at Joe Young's work. When you look at my Scruples cartoons, it's always people overcoming certain things. The underdog. If you look, when I was 7 years old, writing my first play, John Lee, it was about this underdog who beats up monsters and different aliens. So, but they all have to come from something. And this story was a story, from this guy from the hood. And it was he's kind of rough, but he meets the minister who has polish, is a little bit more polished. And so using the word rough for the unpolished and diamond for the polished, I came up with Diamond Rough. Well, of course, you can't, write a book or something substantial with it without you having some type of emotional connection to it. Diamond Rough, as again, every character is a part of every person. All of us have a little, not get overness, but trying to think you're outwitting someone or something like that. Everybody does that, and and then everybody has. Mostly everybody does have a spiritual side, that they do care about people, they do believe in a higher power or whatever it is. Then within a book you have Gail Morgan, who is a operations person, organizer. We all organize in our lives, so the book is a part of everybody. But me personally, I would say, and this is what I think I'm more, somebody gets to know me, I'm more the Reverend Woods. I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. As far as Diamond, if there's a correlation between me and Diamond, I think I can, in business you have to size folks up if you're trying to do something. So that side of Diamond, I think, would be in me. I think, even Diamond was accused of something he didn't do. I've been accused of certain things like that. You've been, Don King has, Kyle has, so I think people are going to really identify with the story because each character is a bit of every human being, the good, the bad, and everything else, and all of us seeking to do the right thing and trying to serve others ultimately. Well, Well, the hardest part was letting go, because now you have to bring in a director, and he has his vision, and you have to let the director have his vision. But what's different about this is I created from the beginning, so it was being able to make sure that my vision was intact, which it was, and the book. There's certain things in the movie that's not in the book, So that was probably the most challenging. The project had to be done. That was kind of like Moses, and I was like Pharaoh. Let my manuscript go. But I'm happy with what. It went from a concern to a blessing. The project's a journey. You have to deal with things that happen, and one thing, Mike, him and I went to college together. He's a great guy, and we were in the process of doing this, and Mike's schedule gets crazy like everybody else's, and we've been into a project a year and a half before we even met Mike, looking for talent. So Mike comes aboard, and things are going well. He's casted for Diamond, and he gets busy with projects, and of course, as everybody knows, he just got picked up by Tyler Perry with his own show with Marcus and Tasha, and so instead of waiting a long time, we decided that we had to make this thing happen for investors and everybody else. So we had, and then again, Fredro Starr, who brings a whole different element. To me, Mike was more like the James Bond, and Fredro was more a little bit more humorous, and brings that hip, another type of audience to it. So, it all works out. I think both would have brought certain things to the table, and with Fredro, it just brings us another perspective to the character. Very, very good question. Was there anything challenging about the project? Um, Believe it or not, the easiest part of this project was writing the book, because that's what I do. I create characters, and putting it in a certain voice was just easy. The writing is the easy part. I wrote Diamond Rough in probably 2 months, the whole book. The rewrite took another couple months, but the movie project is the monster, in the sense that it is so complex. It's a business corporation upon itself, as far as pre-production, principal photography, and post, the different departments, art department, managerial staff, line production, blah, 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 blah. The most difficult part of this filmmaking, the other stuff is just tedious. I can get through that. The hardest part, I say, in talking to other filmmakers, is simply raising the money. And then let's take it as another step to raise this type of money in in one of the worst economies since the Great Depression. That is probably the most challenging part, but I think we've been able to overcome it, and the fact that we used the recession in our favor. But raising money was the most challenging part. Um, um, well, simply, I have an emotional tie and a certain loyalty to Hartford. You hear a lot of people say, "Oh, so and so left. They forgot. They don't rep. Blah blah blah." Within Connecticut, Hartford, it is not a big market to make change. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get in the major leagues, you don't do it in the little league. You go to the major leagues. But what I'm trying to do, again, use that, besides emotional tie, it's also business. There's opportunity here. And, my family's here. I want to be able to provide jobs. But, as I grow as a filmmaker, I'll always have something here. It might be my nonprofit, it might be a satellite office, but I know if I'm going to grow as a filmmaker, I plan to be here. That's my plan. Now, depending on what happens tomorrow, I may have to open up in LA or Atlanta or New York. I don't know. But right now, I'm here, and I think that we, in our own small way, we provide nonprofit services to youth. We provide jobs to people. And I mean, that's a great feeling, being able to make it in your hometown. It's also difficult because sometimes you're I forgot the word is in your hometown, but it's where my emotional tie is. Hartford's been good to me. Connecticut's been good to me, and I'm going to stay here. I'll always be here in some capacity, but I think when I'm building a foundation, it'll be right here in Hartford, Connecticut. Well, the latest news is we just wrapped up principal photography. So what we're doing now is chopping it up, doing the editing. That's what the creative team does. I also look and make sure, even though the director has his vision, and also to make sure it's sound to the way that I originally wrote the story. Then I do my thing as far as locking down distribution and selling the movie. About a week ago, I spent a week with boxing promoter Don King, who was allowing us to work with him in a sense to use his name to get in certain doors. So that's where it's at right now.